All right, welcome to the 294th District Court. My name is Chris Martin. I'm going to call this morning's criminal docket. When you hear your name, please say present or here. Misty Backus, Robert Campbell, Lindy Delaney, Chasten Esslinger, Naomi Esquivel, Jennifer Gathright, Kelly Gathright, Amy Harmon, Hunter Huggins, Andy Jones, Amber Morphus, James O'Brien, Ashley Olds, Lena Price, Bobby Richards, Lonnie Roberts, Shelby Stanberry, Lane Swanson, Cody Wheeler, Jake Wilson, Johnny King. All right, let's see, where's Mr. King at? Oh, that's okay. I was going to let you know, I'm not sure if you've spoken with your attorney, Mr. Biggs, but a motion for continuance has been filed and granted in your case. So what I want you to do is just come up here, see my coordinator. You can sign a notice of appearance with a reset date, check in with the pretrial release officer, and you're good to go. Matthew Gould. Here. Sean Davis. Here. Bobby Evans. Reported received a phone call that Evans was running late. Central Park trouble. We'll see. Call his name. Andrea Pullings. Katie Wiggins. Lanaria Miles. Lanaria Van Shea Miles. Warren Humes. Your Honor, Mr. Humes. Okay, thanks. Amy Harmon. All right, Ms. Harmon, this is cause number CR 21121. It appears that you are wanting to extend your probationary period for an additional 6 months. Why are you needing to extend your probation?
So I can get my paid up and finish the meeting.
If I extend it for an additional 6 months, do you believe that you'll be able to accomplish those 2 things?
I hope so.
All right, and Ms. Harmon, you'll just raise your right hand. You swear that the testimony you give to the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So,
yes, sir.
All right, you can learn. So, Ms. Harmon, has anybody threatened, force, or pressure you to extend your probationary period for 6 months?
No.
You're asking the court to do this because this is what you want to do to be able to comply with probation.
Yep.
All right, the court will extend Ms. Harmon's probationary period for an additional 6 months. Your new expiration date is August 7th of 2024.
I also have a question about my community service.
Come on over here and talk to the probation officers. They'll be able to answer that for you.
Okay, all right.
Counsel, with anyone that's ready? Jermaine, good morning, sir.
Morning, Judge.
Who are you ready?
I ready on Mr. Sean Davis.
Sean Ray Davis, CR 2395, CR 23207, CR 23208, CR 23209. Let's see. I think all these are, well, 3 of them are set for arraignment. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge. My client's name is spelled correctly. He understands the charge against him. He pleads not guilty and requests to be set on the pretrial docket for those cases.
All right, court will find that Mr. Davis has waived the formal requirements for arraignment. Cause number CR 23-07-208-209. Court will enter his plea of not guilty in the record of each case respectively, sets this matter for pre-trial hearing, along with cause number CR 25.
And Judge, just if I may make note, we still have not received the forensic discovery on Mr. Davis' case from the original case or from his additional cases. So if we could set that a little bit further out, we're still awaiting that. And my understanding is the DA's office does not have that either at this point.
Who's doing the forensic analysis?
My understanding is it's still being handled by Investigator Keltner. At last announcement, he was requesting later in the spring, but then they went and filed these 3 new cases. So I don't know what the status is at this point.
All right, what about, let's set it March, you're Thursday.
Yes, Judge.
Do you anticipate there's gonna be cell phone forensics required for the 3 new cases as well?
Yes, Judge.
April 18th.
Judge, that'll work.
All right, the court sets Mr. Davis, all cases, April 18th. Pre-trial for the ones that were arraigned today, status of the forensic analysis on the CR. For Mr. Davis, I do want to discuss another issue.
Okay.
I show that there's it's delinquencies regarding counseling, pre-trial release. I've got a note here that Mr. Davis apparently still has money to get tattoos, but doesn't have money to pay for pre-trial release. Huh? Sean Davis.
Sorry.
Is that true?
Judge, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos, Mr. Davis?
Hold on, Judge, if I may have an opportunity to speak with my client, but my understanding is, Mr. Davis has been incarcerated, and was only recently.
Okay, sorry, that's Matthew Gould. Mr. Gould, you'll be having that conversation with me in just a moment. They wrote it on the wrong one. So he's not going to.
No, Mr. Davis is.
All right, so you're not going to. So we're gonna move on. April 18th, see you back that day. Check in with Mr. West before you leave.
Thank you, Judge.
Schmidt, me.
Hi, Your Honor, Katie Wiggins.
Katie Lynn Wiggins, CR 15-123. All right, Ms. Wiggins is set for hearing on our motion to revoke today.
Judge, it is. At our first setting, Ms. Wiggins was in custody on December 12th. We put on some testimony regarding her medical condition and her extremely elevated blood pressure levels. The court granted a personal bond after hearing the evidence, considering arguments. Since that time, as promised to the court, she went to her doctor immediately thereafter. She signed up for a rehabilitation program as far as substance abuse. She had to get her blood pressure levels down for 5 consecutive days. They did not come down. She eventually ended up in the ER, was transferred to Tyler, and had emergency spinal surgery approximately 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks? After Christmas, where they drilled several holes in her spine and scraped her spine, which has greatly reduced the issues she was having in jail. But and I was in contact with the state during that time. So what we're asking the court to do, she's supposed to report to Ms. Weaver today. She's already had an additional consult with the program that we were trying to get her in before her emergency surgery. We'd asked the court to set this to February 29th for her to continue, finish her recovery and get into that, her physical recovery and get into that program that we anticipated her getting into. So the state can reevaluate their position at that time, see if we can resolve this.
Is that the program that she's trying to get into? Is that part of the negotiation with the state, that the state is okay with that? Or is this something she's trying to do on her own in itself?
I'm sorry, Judge.
The program that she's getting into, is that because that's what the state wants her to do to resolve the case? Or is that what she wants to do that she's trying to sell to the state to resolve the case?
They haven't made any promises, Judge, but Mr. Hartwell's been aware of the whole time what we're trying to do to essentially get in, get these issues resolved. And I don't want to speak for the state, but I think it will influence their offer.
Yes, Your Honor. Show of good faith, good effort, to show us that she could be successful on probation if she were to be offered to extend. I think depending on how that goes, it would be a joint discussion with probation and defense at that point. I haven't spoken with probation specifically on anything yet about this, but yeah, it's my understanding that it's Miss Wiggins' show of good faith effort in completing probation.
What I'll do, Mr. Schmidt, I'm gonna reset it to February 29th. I would say before you enroll in any program, I'd be talking to the probation department to find out if they're gonna be supportive, if this is the right program, if it's gonna meet her needs or not. I think it might be a waste of time if she goes ahead and enters into a program that the probation department doesn't feel like it's gonna resolve whatever issues that left in the motion to revoke. So I would encourage that before I make any further plans.
And she's meeting with Ms. Bugorn after this, so. About this.
All right, so we'll see you back on February 29th.
Judge, contested or just MTR, or how should I classify that under reset notice?
I'm not prepared to just say contested just yet. I want to give y'all time to work it out. So it's going to be on the contested docket, but
Yes, sir. It should be excused, Your Honor.
yes, pretty good.
And that's all I have, my big chief.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you, Judge.
Any other council ready? All right, Misty Backus. Ms. Backus, this is the sanctions court hearing. All right, it looks like your probation officer received an email with a community service timesheet. You had worked about three and 3/4 hours. It looks like they're still trying to verify that. They've not gotten a response, so that's something that you're going to need to get worked out, okay? All right, Ms. Backus, we're gonna come back on February 27th. And what I want is, I want you to pay, you come up short in your probationary fees, court collections. I see you're making an effort, right? I see that you're paying some, but if you don't pay that full amount, you're just gonna continue to fall further behind. So I need you to strive to get those exact amount of pay. 65 to probation, 115 to court, and 24 hours community service. You have to attend weekly counseling. It's not optional, it's required. Pay weekly counseling, 24 hours community service. Make sure that you get your community service verified and submitted prior to coming to court. It needs to be done on Friday prior to. Okay, so that they prepare the right. So we'll come back on February 27th, okay? Lonnie Roberts. All right, Mr. Roberts, it appears that you met all your sanctions, requirements, paid your probation, court collection, did your community service. You're doing your community service in Edgewood, correct? No, so first one, next. All right, so, next month on the 27th, is when we're gonna come back, do the same things that you've been doing, all right? 65 on probation, 40 court, hours of community service. You do this a few more times, I feel like we'll probably be able to get you out of sanctions court, let you just get back on regular probation, okay? All right, so keep it up, 65 on probation, 40 to the court, court collections, and hours of community service, okay? All right, you're gonna sign this notice of appearance, and you're pretty good. Andy Jones. All right, Mr. Jones, this is the sanctions court hearing. It looks like you did comply with what I asked you to do. You paid your probation fees, you paid your court collection fees, and you did your community service. Where are you doing your community service at? With it, Heritage Park? Excellent, okay. All right, let's keep up the same thing. Before you do this in a consistent manner without slipping up or a block. The sanctions court just get you back on probation, straight probation. Check in with me about what you do, okay? All right, we're gonna come back on February 27th. Same thing, 65 on probation, 55 in court collections, 10 hours. Okay. Shelby Stanberry. All right, Ms. Stanberry, in your sanctions court, it looks like you did your 16 hours community service. Where are you doing that?
Unfortunately, I missed 2 hours for. Because I didn't do any December, but I did 2 days of first Monday, so it was 30 hours, so I missed 2 hours.
Okay, but you got your 16 done. And because 16 is what it's going to take each month for you to expire on time. You've already been extended for a year, right? So you're already in your extension period. Looks like you're supposed to be you're gone till May, so you'll be here before you know. All right, so just make sure that minimum 16, anything over and above that, just means that you get that done earlier rather than later, which is good, but minimum 16. And same thing on your court collections. In order to expire on time, it has to be 105.
I paid my court fees last week.
Yeah, yeah, I'm showing that you complied. Yeah, I'm just reminding you that you gotta make sure that you have that 105 every month, or you're not gonna be able to expire.
I paid it all.
Oh, you
I
paid
paid
it all.
$415 on last Tuesday.
Okay. I don't have that, so, might wanna swing by, talk to your probation officer, make sure that their records are showing that too.
I just need to go down to the clerk's office.
Do you have your, well, I want you to report that to your probation department. Do you have your receipt? Yeah, take that and go, leave a copy at the probation department, so they'll have it. Or if you want to, maybe come over here and see these officers and leave a copy. Okay. All right, so you're telling me that you paid off everything. Now all you have to do is your community service.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you back on February 27th. And, let's do that minimum 16 hours. Lane Swanson. All right, Mr. Swanson, you're in compliance, so I'm gonna have you come back on February 27th. Same thing that you did last month, okay, 65 to the probation department, 125 court collections, 10 hours community service. Where are you doing your community service?
Edgewood.
Also Edgewood. All right. Let's see, we're set to get off. A little less than a year now, it's January 2025, so. Still got a lot of community service that you got to do. So anything over that 10 hours is going to be good. Jake Wilson. All right, Mr. Wilson, looks like you have complied with your fees. You paid your 125 probation, 75 court collections. You did your 15 hours. When did you do your 15 hours? Monday. What do they have you doing that first Monday? You do that? Leggings. Not too bad, huh? Considering what you could be doing, right? All right, you're in compliance. We're gonna have you come back on February 27th. Same things that you did last month. The probation, 75 collections, 15 hours. Finger price. All right, Ms. Price, looks like you paid your probation $60. Paid 65 on court collections. Says that you came up 2 hours short on your community service, said that you were to work 10 and you worked 8. What happened on that?
She had to go home early, so she said, next time I work, I can make up those hours.
All right, so what we're gonna do for the 27th is we're going to I need you to increase your probation fees to 70. Okay, so that's what it's gonna take. The reason I say 70 is because that's what it's gonna take for you to expire on time in 2026. Okay, so $70 to probation, 65 to court collections, And I'm just gonna say minimum 10 hours community service, but go ahead and make sure that you give those two work that you did work last time.
Yes, sir.
Caught up on that, all right?
Yes, sir.
Ashley Olds. All right, looks like you have complied with Ms. Olds, come back on 2/27. Probation department says that for you to expire on time, it looks like you're set to expire in July. By their calculations, in order to expire on time, your probation fees would have to be 160 a month. I think right now you're paying 130 to 135. You're
Is that because I missed November's payment?
not sure.
I mean, I'm planning on paying that in the next couple of years. It's like catch up, but
I'm not sure.
it was 130, I believe. Like 110 to court.
Yeah, last month was 135 for probation. It says you paid 130. Then it was 110 to court collections and you paid that. They're totaling, and doing a new calculation. And by their calculations, it takes 159 to probation to expire and 141 to court collections. It does say amounts have changed due to getting behind.
Okay.
So let's do that. Let's do 159 to probation, 141 to court collections, and see if we get you kind of caught back up. Obviously, if you're making an effort, you can't pay all that, but you're making a substantial effort.
I plan on making like a double payment into February, like around the 20th.
That's just to get you expired on time. As long as you're making an effort, then I'm not gonna be upset with you, obviously, but I'm just telling you that you may be looking at an extension. If you don't get it paid off in time with extension, it just costs you more money for supervision fees and all that. So you either pay now or pay later. So, all right, so let's shoot for that 159 is probation, 141 to court collections. We'll do that back on 27. No. Keep that on. Are you ready? Council, we all approach you. Mr. Austin. All right, this is cause number CR 22-166, State versus Monty Travis Austin on a state's motion to adjudicate. It's my understanding that we were separate contested hearings today, but the parties are asking for pass with another contested docket. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, or we'll reset this to February 29th for contested hearing based on the state amending its motion. Linaria Miles here. Linaria, Van Shea Miles. So Wyatt, are you ready on Mr. Humes at all? Yeah, time.
believe, we have taken a UA this morning as part of that, our agreement with the state. If he,
Come on.
passed the UA, which he did, the state's gonna dismiss the MTA.
Yes, Your Honor, and I take Mr. White at his word that that he's talked with the probation department and that Mr. Humes has passed. So the state will be filing a motion to withdraw and terminate.
I'll ask the probation. All right, then, so you're telling me that the state's making these motions to withdraw this motion to vote, we follow that up in writing. You're saying that's based on Mr. Humes passing the UA in court today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything more than passing the UA in court to get the?
Your Honor, we also were current on our payments and all that. That was part of what we had done before.
All right, then, Mr. Humes, when does Mr. Humes expire on probation?
He's already expired.
He's already expired, so this will resolve this case.
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, Mr. Humes, free to go. You're welcome. Cody Wheeler. It looks like we had a 3-day buyback, jail buyback, but we complied with your probation fees, your restitution, service. What do you do? You service that? Doing all 30 hours there.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, no, I went up to the probation office and did some.
All right, well, let's do the same thing. What I'm trying to do is get you back on a consistent pattern. If you start doing it on your own, I don't have to worry about there. All right, so let's come back on the 27th. We'll do 3-day buyback, same thing. A day in jail for each one that's not done, okay? So 30 hours community service. $65 to probation. And $435 restitution, 65 to probation, 30 hours community service. You don't have much longer to go. May, you're free knowing. You're getting close to getting everything worked out, so. I would love to get you out of sanctions court, let you just finish the rest of it on your own. That's all. So. Probation, they believe that you can do that too, but we gotta a couple more times, maybe we'll get you out of here. Okay. You're welcome. Ms. Escobar. All right, Ms. Escobar, I gave you a 3-day jail buyback. And looks like you complied. You did 20 hours community service, and you paid your 120 to probation. Where are you doing your community service at? Heritage Park also.
Yeah, that is here. And sorry, Saturday.
All right, what I want to do is the same thing that we did last month. It appears that worked. All right, so it's 3 days in jail, but you buy each one of those days back for compliance. Okay, so 10 hours for 1 day, another 10 hours for another. All right, so $120 for probation. So 3 days in jail, you do 10 hours, one of those goes away, you do another 10 hours, that day goes away, you pay your 120 that day. Okay. James O'Brien. Mr. O'Brien, let's see here. It looks like you paid your probation fee, 65. Worked your 10 hours community service. Says that you did not pay your $60 a quarter.
I got to see.
I paid it for December and January. So $130 to probation, $125 to court.
Is there any reason that you had to pay it yesterday rather than last week?
I forgot about it.
It's not a good excuse. Probation office needs that stuff in order to pay it for. So that we're not in a situation that we have to look at your paperwork in court. So you're complying, get all that stuff turned in, then I put you at the top of the list and I say, oh, Brian, you complied, see you later. Right, so all that stuff is due the week before your court date. Alright. With all that said, I'm glad that you paid, you did what you're supposed to do, so I'll commend you for that. All right, so we'll come back on the 27th. Same thing, 65 for probation, 60 to court, 10 hours community service. Are you also working at Heritage Park?
Yeah, try to, first Monday on Saturdays.
All right, we'll see you back on the 27th. I have to sign that notice. Corpus. Hi, Ms. Morpus, looks like you paid your 65 probation fee. You paid your $50 court collections, you did your 20 hours community service. All of that. Job well done. Didn't prioritize was your cognitive education.
Yes, I've had my first, full paycheck that got a job. And like you asked me to last time. I had my first full paycheck on fifth. I've already set it up with him to make that payment on that.
So you're gonna get Mr. Jakes taken care of.
It's, if I've already had it, it's, arranged for me to be participating on.
I want you to make that a priority.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's come back on the 27th. 65 for probation, 50 to courts, collection, and 20 hours of community service. Get Mr. Jakes taken care of, okay? We do that, and we'll have you on the right track of getting caught back up. And the only way to get out of sanctions court is to be consistent. It's the only way, otherwise you've got to come back here every month and deal with me. I know no one wants to do that, okay? But the only way that you can get out of it is to show me that you can handle it on your own with consistency. I will see you back. Yeah, she owes to Mr. Davis.
It's probably just 2 cents.
Hunter Huggins. Let's see. Let's say that you're not making regular payments towards your court fees, you're not making regular payments towards probation fees, you're not working community service. That's why you're in sanctions court here today. What's going on that you're not complying with the terms of your probation that you said you were going to comply with?
I just don't have an excuse, like I just haven't made a priority.
You understand that you're on Bird for what appears to be a first degree felony. You know what the range of punishment is for a first degree felon? What is that?
Last time, I think I was in court.
Well, just the range of punishments, minimum 5 all the way up to 99 years of life. I would make my life a priority. That's what I would do. In order to make my life a priority, I would get the government out of my life. If you don't know what the government looks like, you're looking at the government. Those probation conditions, that's the government. I would focus on getting the government out of my life by making concerted effort to make sure that I didn't do anything wrong that was going to get me arrested and put back in jail and make the prosecutors upset with me and ask them to ask the court to revoke you, convict you as a felon, put you in prison. Do you understand what a convicted felon faces the rest of their life? It's hard to do. If you know a felon, they would tell you, you can't get a job, can't get a mortgage, can't have a gun, oftentimes you can't vote, get some of your civic rights taken away. Life sucks. Life sucks. Makes it a lot harder. How old are you? 27. You're a very young man with hopefully a lot of life ahead of you. But if you don't make a priority now at 27, you could be sitting in prison when you're 37 or 47 or whatever it is. So my job here today, hopefully, is to get you to understand the magnitude, the importance and significance of what you're doing. I would have thought that you would have already done that here last time before returning, and we went over the probation condition, talked about the range of punishment, talked about all these things. Apparently, it didn't take the first time, but you don't get time after time after time. You've got a limited small window in which to show us that you're going to be able to serve your sentence in the community. And if you can't show us by doing something as simple as paying your probation fee, paying your collection fees, and working community service, if you can't do those three things, then you're not going to be able to serve your sentence in the community. You're going to serve your sentence behind bars. And that's not a county jail. With your top charge, it says ag robbery. You're looking at Huntsville. You're talking about some bad dudes that are down there for the rest of their life. They got nothing to live for but to make your life better. You're talking about year on year on year of being down there living. If I'm not painting the picture good enough for you yet, then you need to find somebody who can paint the picture. If I need to lock you up in county jail for a little while to get your head straight, I'll do that. Is that what you want me to do?
I actually came with Docket to pay for a little bit on work and some probation.
Well, you should have had that money in your pocket. You should have paid that last week to probation so that they would have put a note on here that said he didn't pay all of it, but he tried. He paid some. But coming to court, you're not going to buy your way out of it by showing up and saying, well, I got $40 today. It's not work. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have you come back on February 27th. Today I'm going to sentence you to 3 days in jail. Okay. I'm going to give you a chance to take those 3 days away. This is how you do it. You work 20 hours community service. 1 day goes away. Leave you 2. You pay $90 towards your probation fees. Another day goes away. Pay $60 towards your clerk fees. The 3rd day goes away. For every one of those that you don't do, you're going to go sit in jail 24 hours. And it's not check in at 8 o'clock at night and get out at 12:01 for a full day credit. You'll sit there for 24 hours straight. And then when you get out, guess what? You still owe it. You don't sit out restitution. I mean, you don't sit out clerk fees. You're not sitting out probation fees. You get out, all it does is take away from your life. Now you got to go out and you're further behind. And it makes it harder and harder to get out of it. Okay? I can't stress enough to you how important it is to get your crap together quickly. Okay. Well, otherwise, the next time you show up, you're going to be on Zoom. You're going to be in a jail suit. You're going to be shackled. You're going to have a defense attorney with you. You're going to have a prosecutor telling the court all the things you've done wrong. All right, are we communicating? Understand what I'm telling you? I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, but I am trying to get my point across to you. Okay, all right, we'll see you back on the 27th. Do you have any questions about what I told you is your distinction today? Do you have questions?
You said 90 probation.
I believe in theory. You can always ask your probation officer, always send them a message, email, whatever, they can answer all those questions for you too. Jennifer Gathright? Gathright. All right, say that you didn't pay your probation fees, you didn't pay your sport collection fees. Sport collection fees too over here to the clerk. All right, I'll tell you what, I want you to get all your paperwork and come back here and meet with the probation officers. Let them look through that. Mr. Gathright, you can go to. Just come on back here and have a seat, show them your receipts and all that. Yeah, go get that, go get that. Oh, she said she can, come back here and let's get to the bottom of that. Campbell. My notes say that you come up short on several things, everything actually. That you didn't work in community service, didn't pay any court collection fees, didn't pay any probation fees. You didn't register your fit. Is all that true?
No. I have, hours for community service, I have, so we have more. I have paperwork for, my legal for. At probation. At board, that might be,
You have to pay at the time that you register. I'm sorry, do you have to pay at the time that you register?
I understand. Couldn't do it online because. I get money like my father.
So you're saying you did your 10 hours community service?
So yes, sir, I got $9.5 here. With the break, got paperwork, said it was quick.
Where did you do your community service at? Where did you do your community service?
It's a place called helping.
Did you turn all that paperwork into the probation department last week? So you haven't turned any of that into probation? So how would they know that you've done anything? How, you understand the reason that we haven't turned it in the week before? They have to have all your information so they can make this report, so they can say, Judge, this is what we know. And what they know is that you didn't turn in anything, so they say, look, you didn't turn in anything, so therefore you didn't do it. You understand that that's a problem, right? Okay, so why didn't you turn it in? I do. Why didn't you turn it in last week? No. Okay. And you said you did pay your court fees?
No, December, I paid my father watches. I've got, I paid today. Check on it, on the third, paid something.
And same thing on your,
It's trying about,
I understand, we've had this discussion.
yeah,
And same thing on your probation fees?
yeah. But I get that.
How much is that bid program that you try to reach?
$60.
$60.
I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to do it online.
Might go down just a little bit. It's for lot 16.
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm trying to do it online, it's kind of like pay thing, what the bottom line.
Is that our? I think you can.
All right, Mr. Cameron, let's do this. Let's do. Back on the 27th. Let's do 65 for probation. 125 for 10 hours community service. You gotta get enrolled to start taking the bid class, okay? Good. So but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 3 days in jail. And I'm gonna condition it on your probation fee, your court collection fee, and your community service, okay? That means I'm gonna sentence you today for non-compliance to 1 day in jail. All right? So that means when you come back on the 27th, if you pay your $65 for probation, a day goes away. Okay. You pay 125 your court collection, another day goes away. And you do your 10 hours community service, the third day goes away. All right, so it's called a buyback. I'm gonna give you all the chance to get all those days back by applying. Okay. Great. That's fine. All right, we'll see you back on the 27th. She's gonna fill this out and you sign it, and then you're free to go. Thanks. Justin, that's under. All right, Justin, let's see here. I've given you a 3-day buyback option, jail buyback option. And I show non-compliance for each one of these. Your probation fees, your court collection fee, or actually your restitution and your community service. Is all that true?
Yes, sir, my excuse for that was our nanny at the house, she flew and kind of passed around our house. So I didn't want to go the first Monday to get my sick up there. As far as money, I didn't have any money, but I will have money next week, payment starting from there on. I will be doing community service, Thursday, back to work Monday. Get all that kind of stuff out. Kind of big fuck off, but get my work, I'll have to go.
All right, because there's gonna have to be a consequence, you understand that, right? So the agreement was is that I had sentenced you to 3 days in jail. I gave you the chance to work, those 3 days off. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. So I'm gonna give you your option to do your 3 days in jail, then I'm gonna sentence you to another 3 days in jail. Give you a chance to buy those back with compliance. So what that means is I'd reset you to the 27th, but between now and the 27th, you're gonna tell the probation officers which 3 days you want to serve your jail sentence. And then you're gonna have to comply with 20 hours of community service, $65 for probation, and $50 for institution. For every one of those you don't do, by next work for about 3 days. Understand? We gotta get you caught up because you're set to expire later this year.
Yes, sir.
If you don't get caught up, you're gonna either get extended or you're gonna get both. Extension is just gonna cost you more money. Keep further behind.
Yes, sir, that will happen, once I spoke about probation officer. Yes. Well, thank you. Okay. Good night.
Let's do this. Deputy Martinez is gonna bring you the form here, sign that, and over here, see the probation officers, they're gonna let you pick 3 days.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Laney, I see that you've had some medical issues. Right. There you go.
Right, a week ago, I have to go have the procedure done again.
The whole thing, proceed.
Yes.
What happened?
Back.
Cyst.
At work.
You have to go to the hospital for that, or is it a day surgery or what?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, Ms. Delaney. I'm going to, when do you go back for that?
2 days.
2 days? How long do you expect to be out while you're cooking?
Probably, they said if they left for this time, so probably like 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm gonna reset you to March 26th. Okay. And basically, I'm gonna give you a pass for February. Okay. Starting in March, I want to see, need you to schedule your substance abuse evaluation. Need to attend a drug offender education program. The next one starts in February 9th. If you can start by then, that would be great. $90 to probation, $35 to court costs, 10 hours community service.
And documentation, medical documentation. She's done.
Okay.
It's been
And once you're done the procedure, gather all your medical documentation, bring it to probation. Okay. So we'll get back on March 26th.
They did make payments, but like, they made it on the Friday and then it didn't process, so Danielle, it wasn't processed through when they did it. So they did pay everything, it just wasn't in time, because it was for credit card payments. And then he's saying he worked hours, Danielle's saying, I don't have anything for hours. She brought medical documentation, I just took it, I don't know what I need to do with it, so, are they already reset, or do they need to come back? Yes, they did come back in here, they wanted to verify payments. So, yeah, they made payments just with credit cards, and the processing fees was not in town. Okay. And then you have the medical. She. So it sound like Alan. Yes.
All right, Mr. Richards, let's see, the last session score. I asked you to do three things, to do 20 hours of community service, pay $120 to probation. And I gave you a day in jail for each one of those. I broke it out, 10 hours community service, 10 hours community service, 120 to probation. I don't have any records that you applied your money, you do not pay your $120.
Because of the weather that we've had, I haven't paid a lot, and I tried to make a payment this morning of $100, so that's all I have on my card, and I didn't know it charged $2.95. So I was gonna go back and pay 95 on it this week, we're just getting back to work this week, so I can pay the rest of it. I'll take care of it.
What do you do for a living?
I do red iron buildings for the well helps.
And what about, my records say that you didn't turn in your community service hours last week either.
I have been looking at service. I've been working at Manna Food Bank. And I've even got a picture from Jerry Tillman where it shows where he did the letterhead work. You can see it, where it shows where I did 13 hours.
Well, I do need to see it, but I don't need to see it from you. I need you to turn those things in to probation a week before the report. So probation can make a report that I can read from to give you.
He said he emailed me. He also gave me a picture, he sent me a message on it. You can see it. But I've been working on it.
When did he send it to him? Last week?
It's what, yesterday was the last day, so yesterday should have been it. I worked Friday and yesterday and put in 13 hours work,
Well, yesterday's too late though.
but I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Well, you should know that. The hours are due the week before report.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. That's my fault. I've been trying to get them done, but the weather caused a problem out the whole live back because there's no, when we get ice back where I live at, there's no way of getting out. There's stuff. So I've been really trying to get out between that and the rain. My yard is just like a swimming pool. It's like somebody went out there full wheel driving to my front yard, just trying to get in and out to get to where I need to go.
All right, Mr. Richards, I'm gonna bring you back on the 27th. I need
Tell me what you need. I'll do all that.
I need 20 hours of community service. I'll break that out. I'm gonna do 3 days in the bill. Okay, same thing as last time. A day for 10 hours each. I need 20 hours total. $120 for probation. And I'm gonna sentence you to 1 day in jail for non-compliance this month. Okay? I'll tell you even better. I'll let you pick the day. Saturday, pick the day. Okay? So 1 day in jail and then 3 days in jail for the buyback. You get those 3 things done, those jail days go away. Okay? All right, they're gonna have you sign the form and then come back here and meet with the probation officer to work anything today. So you get to take care of it. So. No. Got it right. All right. Seems we got some things taken care of. Ms. Catherine, so I show that you are in compliance with your payments and that you provided medical documentation regarding your community service. So we're gonna reset to February 27th. And I need the same thing, $60 for probation, $60 for court collections, and 20 hours community service. If you still have those medical issues, submit that just like you've done, okay?
I didn't put that data on that because my insurance is up there. Right. And that's better for women. It's my doctor. She wants to give me a letter.
Okay.
So I have 3 letters. One for her and one for mine.
I don't need them. You need to give them all to the probation department. Okay, if they have them, then they maintain my records.
Okay, and then
For
I'll
you.
get an update.
Okay.
And I apologize on the court piece. I
was under the impression that that has to be paid the Friday before. Apparently I paid him on the 12th day, it's supposed to be second.
No, the probation told me that it was a processing delay, not your fault. No, so you did good. They are due the Friday before your court date.
I just.
Yeah. No, well, you were out of here. I've been harping on everyone else about turn your stuff in by Friday, the week before your court date. So you weren't in here to get the lecture that I've been giving everyone else. So you've done exactly what you're supposed to do. So I'm happy with that, okay? Kelly, tell me about your community service. I don't have records that you're indicating that you did do your 20 hours.
That's all I did. Told me I was supposed to do 10, but I paid back. I did 10 hours to, probation office, did $8 per.
It was on that kind of questions.
Okay, those were approved locations. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have the same thing. Just come back on the 27th. Let's do 20 hours of community service, 60 probation, 65. Okay. All right, we'll sign this form and then it's ready to go. Actually, Ms. Gatter, I think yours is 15. You can put 15 on there. 15 hours community service or supply proper medical documentation. Okay. Man, you ready on? Your goal.
And Judge, this is one of the rare instances where I'm gonna say I'm not prepared to expect persuasion now. For going to the docket, saw another name, in the attorney's slot, so I thought he had retained someone. I had blind talking to the state of New Hampshire. I have been appointed for last time, I haven't filed a motion. But didn't have some chance out of the state or so I was about to reset.
All right, court will reset, Mr. Gould, and Mr. Manning, a chance to caught up on the case, reset to February 29th. Shining on. Yes, I do want to remind you, Mr. Gould, you still are on community supervision. And there is a motion to revoke pending, motion to adjudicate. And Mr. Manning has been appointed by the court because you claimed indigency, meaning that you don't have enough money to support yourself on a basic financial fundamental level. And if I'm getting notes from probation that you're buying tattoos, then that tells me you've got money to hire a lawyer. I know tattoos are not cheap. So you need to be paying attention that other people are paying attention to everything you do, especially the probation department, especially these prosecutors. All right. So if you walk in here with new tattoos, tell the court that you don't have enough money to eat, drink, have shelter, and therefore you need to have a court appointed lawyer to protect your rights. The court gives you one, but that's kind of a slap in the face. All right. So chew on that and talk to Mr. Manning about that. And we'll see you back on the 29th. All right, Mr. Manning, who else are we doing?
Just ready for Bobby.
Bobby Lynn Evans, CR 22-271. Evans said a motion to vote with it.
Yes, sir. I received a call from the state on Thursday of last week. I attempted to reach out to my and told them they spoke about the offer. He wishes to accept that offer. I was able by it's current, it would be paperwork ready. Is that jail, but it would be for time. So that's video is to 30. That explains doesn't show up how the situation is.
What's the agreement for?
5 years, TDCJ.
What's his range, 2 to 10?
Yes,
Is he already adjudicated?
Your Honor, I see a deferred, order of deferred.
Sure. I'll let you go, come back at 1:30. Am I gonna regret that decision? Am I gonna turn them out? Send officers to look for you to do all that, or are you at that point where you're ready to resolve your case and move on with life? Showed up this morning, so that gives me some evidence and indication that you're manning up today, you're gonna resolve our case, and I can take you at your word. Is that true? You understand what Mr. Manning has told you, that if I grant him his request to have you just come back at 1:30, don't appear, probably a good chance the state's gonna revoke that offer and maybe even amend you, your motion and bring you back and ask the court to give you more than 5. You understand that can only make things worse for you. You understand? All right, look me now. You understand? I know this is a tough decision, but I need to look at you and I need to look at me. Okay. All right. We'll see you back at 1:30. Out of the Banton County Justice. Do we have any more?
I don't think we do, Your Honor.
All right, so we won't be back in here.
No, sir.
All right, so I'll see you out at the Banton County Justice Center at 1:30.
Hi, Judge, Williams.
CR 21-140 State versus Sharif Woolens. But
Yes, Judge, we have at this point received from probation a record of all the service hours. And they show a number of different forms it has been done. We would request one final setting, from the supervisors. Now that I have the accurate information that they have reported, that way I can go back, compare that with the notes, as well as provide me and see where we're at. My request is that for one final setting, disclose that so was pregnant. And so her ability to continue service. I'd like to see if we gain any contribution, request the withdrawal terminate. If not, we'll go for a hearing that I can set.
Your Honor, no objection. I know, Mr. Manning has been working with Ms. Pollings to, try and get this squared away. I have no objection to, trying to, figure out the difference in the hours.
All right, court will reset Ms. Pullings to February 29th. 9 a.m. Yes, she. Change your vote. All right, the court has called cause number CR 2239, State versus Linaria Van Shape Miles. Smile not appear in court as ordered. Her name has been called loudly and distinctly 3 times in the courthouse. Response, court hereby issues the third not saying. That will conclude this morning's criminal docket. So I stand in recess until 1:30.